You've got ADHD. What do you do with your downtime? A lot of people from the outside who don't really understand things think, oh, ADHD, you're hyperactive, you don't have any downtime. You and I know that is not the case. So what do we do? How do we manage downtime? How do we even get downtime? Well, short answer is we got to make it. Got to be a priority. So now, why is downtime so important for those of us with ADHD? We just had the holidays. It was super busy. Luckily for me, this was the least busy holiday season I've ever had due to various, family dynamics and things like that. There were a couple of parties, but nothing major and no major travel plans. I had downtime. I actually did some things for myself. How is doing nothing doing something? Those of us with ADHD things are just going a lot up here. Now, the brain actually is responsible for consuming 75% of the calories that our body uses. You're like, that sounds like a lot. Well, that is a lot. This little computer up here is doing a lot. And those of us with ADHD, it's doing a little bit more than, the average person. And so we also have a little bit more need for some rest and relaxation and downtime. So a lot of times that downtime is taken in advance in the form of procrastination. Now, a lot of people think that procrastination is bad, and can it be? Yes, but can it also be a means of saving up energy to complete something? Well, absolutely. Having some time to do nothing and let things just rest and reset, that's called regulating. And it's a big fancy word for just, do we feel okay? Now, some days you wake up and you don't feel good. Now, in order to regulate, that basically means things that in our brain that are, the neurotransmitters, that's the fancy term for messengers that tell our brain to feel good or tell our brain that we are feeling all right. Sometimes those things need a little bit of resetting. So it's very easy when vacation time comes to want to just go. You're like, I got time off. I want to do this. I want to do this. And how often after a vacation or time off do you feel like you just need more time off? Well, sometimes part of what we are doing, during our downtime needs to be literal downtime, nothing. So beginning of the year, people talk about, hey, let's make some, New Year's resolutions. Let's start the year off on a good foot. They mean well, but all you have to do is Google what the percentage of New Year's resolutions that actually get followed through on, and you can see maybe not the most effective strategy. So in my opinion, waiting at the end of the year, think back on all the things that you did this year that were better than the year before, that things of growth or things maybe where you backslid. Instead of jumping right into solutions, I think a little bit more instructive to step back and just take some observations and see, okay, where am I right now? So goals are really cool because they're trying to get you somewhere that you're not currently, but the best way to know where you need to go is to know where you are to begin with. And so a lot of times we just get these voices coming at us to, hey, do this, exercise or eat right or whatever it is. The things that you need to do in your life are, and you don't need somebody else telling you what to do. And you're like, well, Rob, aren't you telling me what to do? No, I don't know what you need to do, but there are some strategies for whatever it is that you need to do to be a little bit more successful. And the first is to just observe, step back, evaluate, do your whole year in review of 2022, see all the things that you like, and don't just delete the things that you didn't like. Look at those, learn from them, and use this time to grow. And so for me, 2022 was the biggest year for growth for me since I was a kid. I had an incredibly late detection of ADHD. I've had it my whole life. I literally did not know until 2022, the very beginning of the year. Once that happened, everything became a whole lot more clear, and the things that I would do during the course of a day weren't just me being me. They were literal things that many people with ADHD do. Although everybody's an individual, we have very similar thought patterns that play out. Don't stress about making goals right now. Spend more time resting and trying to figure out exactly where you are and what it is that you need to do instead of just jumping onto something to be doing something for the sake of doing something because that's what you feel like you need to do. Step back, rest. If people are jumping up and down and yelling at you, well, that's their problem, not yours. Don't let other people pressure you into something that's you're not currently regulated and ready to go for, because otherwise all that does is reaffirm the I'm not important cycle, and you just keep spinning around and keeping busy doing things instead of actually getting to a place your mind can get to any sense of rest, relaxation, and ultimately regulation. So I hope this helps. If there are things that you found that work better for you for regulation, put them in the comments. One of the things that I love to do is sit in a hot tub or sit in a bathtub. Allow your body to just kind of return to itself and not perpetuate the stress cycle that seems to be really prevalent among those of us with ADHD. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Like and subscribe, and if it's been helpful, share it with people. This is intended for everybody.